Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith, and welcome to my view from the 40. Of course, the Eastern Semi-Final was played here today in Ottawa. Congratulations to the Saskatchewan Roughriders for getting the win. And it's one of those times for me to sit back and reflect. Reflect on the fact that I was right and that I was wrong. Let's start with the I was right part. After watching Saskatchewan's lackluster performance against the Edmonton Eskimos last week, I said, and a lot of people thought I was crazy, but I said, I think Saskatchewan, let me choose my words, didn't put in 100% effort against Winnipeg, because by losing that game, they became the crossover team. Well, why would they want that? Saskatchewan's record against Ottawa and Toronto up until today was 3 wins and 1 losses, as opposed to the record against Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton, which was 3 wins and 5 losses. It's no secret that Saskatchewan, the 4th place team in the West, was better than both Ottawa and Toronto from a record standpoint. And it's also not a big secret that Saskatchewan is probably the hottest team in the CFL right now, with the exception of last week's game, which was an anomaly because, in my opinion, they didn't, again, put in the effort. So I was right that Saskatchewan wanted to cross over. They were completely day and night in their level of effort from today's game versus last week's game. But I was also wrong. I was wrong because I said if Kevin Glenn was the starter for Saskatchewan, as he was, I felt that it would give Ottawa a better opportunity to win the game. And I couldn't have been more wrong. Now, it's not like Kevin Glenn's numbers set the world on fire, but he did enough to dissect through that Ottawa offense and lead his team to victory. Now, one of the big things I think this really exemplifies is the level of class between the Eastern Division teams and the Western Division teams. And yes, it was very cute last year when Ottawa won the Grey Cup at 8 wins, 9 losses, and a tie. Yes, they went into the Grey Cup with the playoffs with a losing record, but I've said and I maintain the regular season doesn't matter. It's what happens in the playoffs, and that's true. But the Eastern teams need to be better. Some people don't like the crossover rule. Some people think, well, it should just be the top teams in the league and just go from there. But I'd also argue that people in Montreal probably wouldn't be overly excited with an Edmonton-Calgary Grey Cup, and you want to make sure that the Eastern teams are represented. I just think it's interesting looking at the huge disparity of talent and coaching between the East and the West. Now, anytime your team loses, there's going to be speculation, there's going to be, some criticism, some commentary, and I'll join in that. It'd be very easy to say, oh, this is one person's fault or this is another person's fault. But as I've always maintained, you win as a team, you lose as a team. There's fault to go all around. Ottawa's offense didn't play well today. Harris didn't have his best game. I mean, he threw for 457 yards, but he also had those 2 interceptions. But let's not forget that he also had receivers who were clearly open and weren't able to bring in the ball. That's not his fault. It's also not Harris's fault that the defense wasn't on point today. It wasn't his fault that the offense was pretty much able to slice through them like butter. And it wasn't his fault that the kicker, who, as my friend Christine reminds me, has one job, wasn't able to secure a measly extra point. No, there's a lot of blame to go around, and the honest truth is that Ottawa needs to rebuild. They need to get some things done in the off-season. They have a losing record at home. They, again, 2 losing regular season records in a row. And if you're going to have a losing record and win the Grey Cup, that's all well and good. But when you don't, you have to start to think, well, what do we need to do to get better? So instead of coming down on Ottawa, I want to say thank you. I am still extremely appreciative of the fact that we've got a team in Ottawa that I get to go and cheer at and scream and yell and get excited about the fact that we have football here. But I'm also excited about the fact that I get to play host, as we all do, as we get to welcome the nation for, in my opinion, the best week of the year to be a Canadian, because I'm extremely excited about Grey Cup week, and regardless of what teams are in it, I'm excited to party. Now, I will, of course, be covering the Eastern-Western final as well as the big game itself, so you want to keep it locked here. I want to thank the Ottawa REDBLACKS and congratulate them on a decent season. Did it end the way they hoped? No. But instead of attending the funeral and having a pity party, let's say congratulations on all the wonderful things that happened this season, because there was a lot of great things to celebrate in. And I'm also confident in the fact that Ottawa will come back stronger next year. So it's all well and good to jump on the bandwagon and celebrate when the team wins, but a real fan sticks around when they lose. And Ottawa lost today, and it sucks, but we'll be back. As always, I want to congratulate our cheer and dance team. Can I just say how awesome these people are? Wonderful group of men and women who, regardless of the score, are there till the end cheering on the team. And that might not sound like a big deal to a lot of you, but as a fan, when I'm sitting around and I'm watching fans hit the exits at the first sign of trouble, and then I look on the field and I see all these people cheering and keeping people into it, I want to side with them. So, congratulations to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Well played, well-deserved win. Be very interested to see what happens next week in Toronto. Also, congratulations to the Edmonton Eskimos on their win over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and congratulations to Winnipeg on their wonderful season. Next week's going to be interesting. I will be back Thursday with my early prediction on both of those games, so feel free to tune in. Ottawa, Red Blacks, thank you so much for a wonderful season again. I can't wait for the next campaign next year. And as always, if you guys want to reach out to me, you can at Twitter at CFL_fan, Facebook.com/WhittyWhittier and WhittyWhittier.com. Thanks for checking this out. My name is Keith, and that's my view from the 40.